Okay, you ready? Big Daddy? Hey everybody, it's Sean from The Good Dog, and this is The Good Dog's Q&A Saturday episode.
143.
143!
Just looked at it.
See, I'm like Marie Forleo. I'm super fancy.
Whoa.
Do you know who Marie Forleo is?
No.
Okay, doesn't matter. Okay. Well, actually, we're not even going to jump into this. This comes later.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay, guys, how you doing? This is, once again, Sean from The Good Dog. To my left, I have the lovely and talented Ashley Smentek.
I do.
And you are from?
Gold Hill Canine in Northern California.
Where exactly are you guys?
Newcastle. Up north of Sacramento.
Okay.
Yeah.
And close...
God's country.
God's country. Close to Tahoe?
Very close to Tahoe.
I'm
About an hour.
So jealous.
Also close to San Francisco. About an hour.
And you're like centrally located to a lot of awesome...
In the Golden Hills.
Okay, that's enough bragging. Okay, so what's been cooking? We're trying to keep these episodes flying and not get into a
What
whole bunch
episode
of
is this?
jibber jabber. This is episode
143.
It's so funny. I'm such like a robot with it. I was like,
Yeah.
Q&A 143. Like, it doesn't need Q&A.
You don't need to
It's
say
episode
They know what
143.
it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, by the 200th episode,
You'll have it.
I'll be smooth.
You'll know it.
I'll be smooth. I'll be smooth. We'll be good.
Sometimes it takes practice.
I appreciate the support. Okay, guys. So what's cooking in our world? We've got what looks to be Scotland, England, and Belgium coming up with keep those dogs quiet. Scotland, England, and Belgium coming up with me and Jeff Gelman doing our international dog training seminars. The tickets and the dates should all be going live any day now. Belgium, we're trying to lock down. Belgium will be excited.
That will be
right?
I told you you're internationally acclaimed. You keep saying you're not, and yet he just talked about 3 international dates, folks. That's international.
But whether
World
we're acclaimed or not,
Somebody's acclaiming you over there because they liked you so much they want you back.
I think we might be internationally travel enabled,
Internationally touted.
internationally able to travel, but I don't know if we're
That means because you have a visa.
Right?
So you're not on
That's
any
what I'm saying.
No-fly list.
I'm-
That's
I'm-
good. Are you sure Jeff's not on a no-fly list?
that I can't
Currently.
say. He got through last time.
That's all we
So,
need.
right.
Yep.
So internationally lauded, acclaimed, or just enabled. But we're looking to put those together, and that's super exciting. We were going to do more dates in England, but I think we want to hop over to Belgium
That'd be cool.
so we can tie in some Europe folks who've been looking to do some dates with us and come check out the program. T3 Rhode Island is coming up in October. This is the last one of 2017. So this is the big one, guys. If you want to come hang with us, come learn, come get the T3 magic. It's happening at Jeff Gelman's world-renowned center.
Internationally acclaimed.
Internationally acclaimed, lauded, and all of that.
He's part of the small local business bureau there, right?
I'm sure he is.
Chamber of Commerce.
I'm sure he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually want to jump in here for 1 second and talk about T3
Okay.
in a very positive fashion.
Okay.
As somebody that actually
We've been hijacked. Go
you
ahead.
asked me to do this. You can't
Right.
ask somebody to
You
come
can't
on
pull the
board
plug?
ship and then be like, I got hijacked. Like, I'm here. You invited me.
I've got the editing power.
That's true. Ooh, that's tough. I'm actually a shadow graduate of Sean's. That's how I met Sean. And so for all of you that are maybe on the fence about whether T3 is something that you want to do or should do, or, it's a big investment, that kind of thing, I'm like a personal attestation. I can personally attest.
I like that one. Yeah.
I can personally attest to the
Attestations. Like I
attestation.
was ready to like
That's a big one.
critically loud you.
Internationally?
Perhaps.
Will you talk about me when you're over internationally?
I will.
That's all I want.
That will make you internationally renowned if I
Will
do.
you?
Yeah.
That's all.
There's this
There's
guy
a lot of pressure
Ashley.
here right now.
God, there's this guy Ashley.
Yeah, he's an idiot from over
He's in
California.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Internationally renowned.
Oh, there's a Newcastle in England too.
There-
Not the same.
That would probably be the first one.
Oh, that's why I need to go there. But the reason that you
Great
need
beer,
to go to
too.
T3, if you're on the fence about it, is the things that you will learn there that I can personally attest to is the personal development, the business development, the dog training chops, all of that stuff. But this guy right here, his ability to really make you feel empowered, and I know Jeff is a huge part of that too. So, you know, shameless plug here, but definitely if you're on the fence about it or wondering whether it's just another dog training seminar, I can tell you it's not. I can tell you firsthand from a personal perspective on what it's done to my business, that it's worth every penny and probably twice as much.
Wow.
I'll take that other 50% if they start paying you that.
Wow. Fantastic.
Yeah. Awkward high
Awesome.
five moment there.
No.
Let's never do that again.
Okay, but that's great to hear. I'm super happy, and you know, one of the things, and this is going to get long, and I always say, like, we're going to blast through this
You
whole
told me we're
like
keeping this to
catch up
32
segment.
minutes.
Yeah. How did you find out, or how did you end up here?
Well, I took 99 south from Sacramento, and then I got off on the 118 and took Topanga Canyon down here. Yeah, I can't tell them where you actually are. 'Cause
Right,
a
it's top secret.
and/or location.
Right.
So,
How did you come to learn
like,
about?
no shit. Can we cuss on this? By the
We
way?
can.
Okay, like because a lot.
No,
I'll tone
feel
it
free.
down for the
Feel
children,
free.
But okay.
No, there's no kids
Yeah,
watching
but
this.
like, was there mothers watching? Like
Yes.
my mother. Did
Mothers-
your mom watch this?
That's a good question.
My mom watches all the Facebook stuff, and it's really creepy because she doesn't even have Facebook. For your mom's sake, because she's a lovely lady, I'll keep the
That's right. You met my mom.
Yeah.
Mom,
I've
if you
known-
watch this, could you email me and let me know?
Yeah.
Because I might tweak and
Does she have your
adjust
email?
things. She does.
Okay,
Yeah. An old one.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
no shit. I saw you on Facebook and some YouTube stuff. I'm more of the Facebook stuff. But the e-collar work and when our business, my business now, was getting into the behavior space from the working dog stuff we do, we were trying to branch out. And my second client was a highly reactive Doberman, probably the most vocal dog we've still ever trained. I don't want to train a dog that's more vocal. Just massive screaming at everything, even not inputs from us. Just a bird landed next to her one time where we were sitting at a coffee
Wow.
shop and she almost lost her mind.
Wow.
And I didn't do anything.
Wow.
So very, very, very challenging. And even though I had used e-collars in the working dog space for some very specific work that we do, never used it to shape or influence or change or mold behavior and thought and aggressive and nervousness and all the stuff that we do now. Never had done that. So it was incredibly counterintuitive to me to use an e-collar to change fearfulness in a dog. And even though I had seen what was out there from you and Jeff and Blake and anybody that's in this space, it didn't seem intuitive to me, and I didn't have permission as even a trainer to use an e-collar in that fashion. I was hesitant, and I was actually scared. To
Kind
do
of
that.
the culture that you were coming from.
It's,
Yeah.
How am I gonna change a dog's behavior in a crate by using an e-collar to correct some behavior? Isn't that going to make it worse?
Right.
And so I think as a
Which is
lot
a
of you
common
at home,
belief,
that are sitting there
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know how to do this. So I thought I have to go see this for myself. And frankly, he's so freaking handsome that I was like, can I go see Jeff? Can I go? Blake's kind of a little hotter than you.
Oh, wow, really?
He's got the beard, and the dark stuff.
Sometimes I got the beard.
Well, he's got the jiu-jitsu thing going on too, and that's pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, but I played on hits.
You what?
I played on hit songs.
Did you?
Yeah.
Which one?
People.
I know. He did. Okay. So, but he keeps all that stuff kind of low key. So,
Right.
really, what sold me?
Doesn't that make it even more charming though?
Yeah, because you're not just like.
'Cause I'm not like-
I'm Sean. I played on hits.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Except for just now.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, when you're trying to really sell yourself. There.
When I get desperate.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was really the hats that really drew me in. I'm like, anybody that dresses that pimp.
I get that. I get
gotta
that.
Go see him in person.
See what you can pull.
And speaking to that T3 experience or shadow experience, driving down here and not knowing somebody other than what we see on the internet was intimidating. And my prior my prior job makes me fairly distrustful of people.
Yeah.
And a little.
Do you care to tell everybody?
Yeah, I've been in law enforcement for 20 years, so you know I'm a little suspicious of people. So you kind of wonder, is what we see here that's somewhat carefully crafted, even though we're sitting here doing this, is that going to be the approximation I'm going to get?
Entirely not carefully crafted right here.
You have stuff written down, so that's...
Well, but it's not.
You didn't let me write it.
It's not carefully
down.
crafted. Because you're great off the cuff.
Oh, I washed my hands.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You had all those answers,
Yeah,
all those clever retorts. Anyways, go ahead, sorry.
So, coming here, I wasn't sure if what my experience was going to match what I see, and whether he was authentic or any of the other crew with him at the time or still currently here. So, I was kind of like... But
that's fair enough. That's
very aloof, like, we'll wait and see how this goes. I probably dog training wise, he's going to be the real deal for sure, because I see, he wouldn't still be in business and doing it if that was fake. But, is the guy really, really genuinely what you see? And like I said, he is that and more. I was absolutely shocked at the amount of personal attention and personal development you put into me during that experience. I had no idea that we would sit here every morning, like on this couch, not quite this awkwardly close, but
with my bunny slippers on over your lap.
Yeah, that was a little. Yeah, tell me what and you're stroking my hair.
You have to disarm people, right?
That's very disarming when you have your shirt off and doing that. So you're kind of like, I didn't know we would start our day that way. I thought it was going to be show up. You get to see us train dogs. You can ask questions. I didn't know that there was going to be such freedom to the information that you have. Literally, I was like, I don't know that I'll get answers to some business questions that I have.
Yeah.
And as the days went on, I realized any question I ask, there's like a no bullshit answer to that, and a real genuine zest to make me the best I can, like really honestly, and and to me that's why I keep coming back. Really honestly, at the end of the day, it's like I genuinely liked the guy and I got along with all the people here, and I felt like by the end of those 7 days I was home. This was like a place for me, and then our love here has grown.
Yes. Blossomed, if you will.
Yeah, it's blossomed.
Yeah.
It's kind of an awesome blossom, if you will. And maybe if that restaurant chain wants to sponsor this little segment.
I hope not, because we'll be dead in like 5 years if we get...
We won't eat them. We're just going to take their money.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Brought to you by whoever out there wants to sponsor.
I take it back, everything I just said.
Johnny's Restaurant at this point.
Right.
Q&A Saturday, sponsored by Del Taco.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Perfect.
So that's really, honestly, how I met you and how I came down here, and to this day, why I... I was telling Caitlin the other day, because I'm down here with one of my trainers as well, because the last time she was here to help out while you were recording your audio version of your book, she didn't get to meet you, and I felt that was even though she was here with the ladies and learned a ton about dog training and brushed up on some stuff, I felt it's so important to meet you and spend that time with you and that personal development thing that you brought to my life that I try to emulate, but I am not you, and I wanted her to hear some of those messages directly from you while we're here. And so that's why I sent her down here, but the reason I'm here is to check in with you occasionally, because I gotta, honestly, that's why I come down here often enough, is I enjoy your company and I enjoy that reburst of, reinvigoration that you
and it's a real two-way street too.
Oh,
it's a real, like, we're bouncing ideas off each other and brainstorming and being excited about new ideas and concepts and things like that. So it's which we'll see in the near future.
One of the big things too is that it's important to laugh. I think such a component of life and this business and the business of running a business and building a business. I think so many people get so serious about this, and I know that you know this as far as the dog training goes. So much about dog training gets so serious, and there is a lot of serious. Some of these dogs are very serious, and the thing behind them. But the thing I enjoy doing with you now is laughing our asses off and remembering to take time, like, let's decompress a little bit and just have some fucking fun.
Some fun.
And like shoot guns in Arizona kind of thing.
You can go off-road and try and scare you, even though I can't,
And just coming back down here and just having that time and laughing and kind of going, the seriousness was gone for a couple minutes, and now we're back to it, and we're back in the thick of things. So
yeah, awesome. Well, it's funny because, and once again, we'll try and keep this to a nice brief hour little introduction here.
Yeah.
But for me, and I always tell the ladies this, that anytime anybody comes down here and they've got, a lot of experience, I've been doing this for a while, but I get like, why the hell does he want to come down here? What's he going to get from us?
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing, stuff that I don't know anything about. You're doing protection work, working on serious stuff, canine, police dogs, things like that, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember being told, like, yeah, Ashley's coming down. For one, we thought you were going to be.
Kind of like your client did yesterday when you kept talking about Ashley. No joke. One of his clients is sitting here.
She kept looking at Caitlin.
She kept looking at Caitlin, and we were about 6 feet apart, Caitlin and I could see her. Yeah. Ashley.
Super awesome.
And finally, I called her out on it. Like, hi.
Super awesome. Yeah. He's like, I'm a dude. Yeah. And
my parents hated me even in the womb. So
I think they wanted you to overcome adversity.
We're gonna make this guy hard. His whole life, he's just gonna get stuffed into lockers and made fun of, and the teachers won't be able to pronounce not the last name for sure.
Right. Ever. So I think I was always I'm always nervous when folks show up for shadow because I just feel a certain amount of pressure and responsibility to make it. It's expensive. It's a lot of travel, time off. Make sure that it's worth their while. And that valuable stuff is passed on. But like what you said about the business stuff and things like that, and us wrapping, is honestly, and not just the business, but whether it's dog training concepts or whatever, to me that's the most fun part of this, is just the sharing part.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to take this stuff to the grave? You know what I mean? The part of sharing it, and it sounds all kumbaya, but like, sharing stuff with you, and then obviously that comes back towards me with whatever we've talked about, concepts and where they align and where they don't align in the different worlds and things like that, and we both benefited from it. So it's been an awesome thing, and of course a friendship and all that. But no joke. Like when I heard you were coming down, I was like, this guy's got all this experience. I don't know what the hell. I think he's coming to the wrong place. I don't know what he's going to learn. And I was really happy that you left here with something that you felt was valuable, that you could then start to work at molding and employing in your other world, and that it had actually planted some seeds that were valuable for you.
Absolutely.
And but like, if you would have shown up and been like hardcore, like, this is how I do it, this is what it is, show me. You know what I mean? Like, so your attitude had a lot to do with what you got out of it.
Because I didn't even share a lot of the stuff we did for a long time, because I'm your student. I'm even though I'm paying you here and I'm a client per se, I'm literally here to apprentice under you. Like, this is a 7-day mentorship for me, for you. So my job, and I think this is really important for people to remember if you are going out there to study, because we see it all the time. I know time and time again is people spend time to get knowledge from us, and as we're talking or sharing and stuff, and they're cutting you off to interject their ideas, and you kind of just at times sit there and kind of go, okay, if you want my information, then you should probably listen to the information. And I've felt it's important through this whole journey, or anything in life, is learning and studying and value. It's always there if you're there to just be quiet and listen to it. Like, learn. I'm coming down here, and I had no idea that you had those preconceived notions, because my view is the exact opposite. I'm coming down here with no experience, little experience in this field here, and that working dog horse shit means nothing down here. So nobody's going to be impressed with your story.
But but if you think about it, it's mutual humility.
It is,
right?
It's
and
so like we both had the humility to sit here and learn from each other.
Compare notes.
You started asking about, hey, tell me about that and tell me about this, and I'm like, why do you want to know about that? What does that have to do? But what we found really, and in talking that trip and then every time since then, is those two worlds, they're dogs, folks. Like working dogs, behavior dogs, pet dogs. If it's got 4 legs, ears, and is in the canine
realm,
they're dogs. And so much of what I learned here helped on the working dog side, and while some of those concepts couldn't be worlds apart. They are still dog concepts.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it was awesome to be able to, share some of our experiences with you and your crew here, and
Yeah.
continue to do that.
Yeah.
And, Coralie was just over in the park this afternoon.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forced her to work Knox.
Yeah.
They get that dog that you
That was
gave
supposed
back.
to be the pup. Hey, I didn't give back. I gave her. I gave her a better life.
The better life was here. He's got a Jag.
She doesn't want to be in the Jag. She wants to eat the Jag.
True.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But no, I mean, like that's our job, is to push
Yeah.
your folks to see things that they wouldn't normally
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And that's why Caitlin's here, and anybody else that we bring on board will be
Yeah.
a part of this experience down here to see. We
I-
call it learning from the mothership. But
I just think that humility and warmth and kindness and being open-minded and
Yes.
coming down with the right attitude, regardless of where you come from or what it is, it just creates the atmosphere for awesome exchange of ideas. I mean, that's beyond dog training, obviously.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
but that's how you grow and
Right.
learn and leverage other people's wisdom and information and experiences. And so I don't have to go train 100 working dogs to
Right.
get certain insights. Like I'll never have the same thing that you have, but I can pull certain things from you, just like you can pull certain things from
Absolutely.
me.
Yeah.
So
You've dealt with challenges in dogs that we may never see, but being able to extract that and ask those questions from a learning perspective down here is it's why I truly believe I had the experience I had. Was part of it is my attitude, but the other part of it is that you saw that and responded in kind.
But it was all set up by you, honestly. So just to be crystal clear, for anybody who's going to do a shadow, going to a seminar, going to even a dog training school, get in there and obviously if what they're teaching goes tremendously against your ethics or your beliefs, philosophies, and it's a terrible fit, that's a different story.
But that's learning too. Like
learning what
so
you
many
don't
people
want.
would go to a seminar and go, "Oh, that whole thing was horseshit. I don't agree with all that." But you're sitting there going, "Okay, I can see these things, and those are choices I would never make." That's
Right.
a learning moment
Absolutely.
of going,
Absolutely.
"Yep, this actually validated my position." And I've been to some high-end seminars in the last year
Yeah.
and paid a fortune to go to some of them.
Yeah.
And picked up little spots here, but if I had gone to it with the mindset of this is going to overhaul my life, other than this kind of experience, really,
Yeah.
those I would have walked away disappointed. But I don't want to do those things. That's not what I want our program to look like.
Right,
So
right,
that's
right.
actually learning in and of itself.
Yeah.
It's just
No
not the
doubt.
learning
No
we
doubt.
hoped for. So,
Right. So
yeah.
so
What he's trying to say is, if you show up to a shadow moment, is don't be an asshole.
I am saying that, but
And we won't be assholes back.
but you learn from that really works and that makes sense and that resonates and that's something I hadn't thought of and I want to implement.
Right.
And we learn from that doesn't make any sense, that doesn't resonate, that sucks, that doesn't feel right at all. And so you learn from both sides of things. Now that all said, because we've really gone way over, it's
Yeah.
I think it's almost midnight. Tell them what you're doing, because I think, and try and keep it brief, but tell them what you're doing.
You get to talk forever, and I got to.
No.
Fine. I'll do it.
Because what I think you're doing is an interesting concept, and I think folks out there will kind of dig it because there's a lot of challenges built into what you're trying to do, and we've even talked about moving between the two worlds and how hard that can be. So
It is, yeah.
So nail it.
So part of the two sides of what we do, we have our working dog program, which is breeding, buying, selling high-end working dogs. We don't really deal in sport dogs too much.
explain working dogs, because
Working
that
dogs
might not
is,
make sense to a lot of people.
Protection trained dogs and or detection dogs, bomb dogs, arson dogs, drug dogs, whatever. Dogs that are capable and bred to do law enforcement type work. So
Okay.
we target military and high level military, police, and any.
Now you know why I was intimidated, right?
and what we call personal defense dogs, some people call them personal protection dogs.
Right.
Home defense, personal defense dogs. So it's typically German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, and Dutch Shepherds are what we deal primarily with some Dobermans and Rottweilers come through the door kind of thing. That's our breeding program, our buying program, our selection program, and then obviously the
And you're
training.
deep in that. You're deep in
Yeah.
you're traveling
Invested
to
heavily.
Idaho. You're going all over the place.
My business partner is Bill Ketchum with Ketchum Kennels. He's been doing this as a living for 25 years.
Yeah.
He is world renowned as well. Internationally acclaimed
Bill.
at times too. Yeah, he is. You can ask him, he'll tell you. They hate him overseas too. So, but a guy,
like
one
family.
of those guys that's, I think what strikes me so much about him is he's the polar opposite of you personality wise, but drive and passion. All his care is that the dog. It's about the dogs. It's the dogs. It's the dogs. And I think that's where your genuineness is. The business and the personal development, but this is that emphasis always is the dogs matter most. You could never let that go for anything else. And that's Bill's driving factor, and it's what kept him successful for so many years. And it's what's kept me motivated to remain his partner and be honored that he would want to share that knowledge with us as well.
Even if he's mean to you sometimes.
Sometimes he's incredibly mean. He's like, I got off the phone and cried at times, and we've had some of those like challenging, like heated moments too.
Right. Partners will,
No, but we're two, older gentlemen that
firm beliefs.
Firm beliefs. Type A. He's a former Marine, high level Marine, kind of like badass dude that has been there and done that. And
you're a law enforcement.
And then working with the dogs we work with too. There's no bullshit business. So there's times where we were like that day, pick up the phone tomorrow. Hey, what's up, dude? And it's just gone. So I think that's what the partnership works well. But
so back to your what your world is. So your world is that world.
Yeah. So we have that side, which is what I started in 25 years ago. That's how I got into dogs at all. Was being around that world, and it's what got me into law enforcement, and it's kind of kept me through different phases in law enforcement. Any of you that follow us on Instagram saw Galen and I riding around with some of my friends and what I used to get to do.
You were in a helicopter last night, right?
Yeah, with Long Beach PD. So we did that for 10 years. It's super fun. So, but the dogs have always been at the root of everything. So then taking this really, really seriously over the last 5 years of just learning, and then trying to make that leap of going, all right, we're going to do this for real, and then navigating some business challenges along that way. And then, so that was the working dog side. Kind of had some goals on that, and now we have such a clearly defined path on what we want to produce, how we want to produce it, and the message that we want to bring to the working dog community about how we raise and train dogs in a very specific fashion to make them really capable of protecting someone's life. That's a challenge that I take very seriously.
We could go so far down the rabbit hole here. Like I'm tempted to just not answer any questions.
Yeah.
But
because I know you have a burning question that you want.
But also, so you're talking about there's this
I know you want to.
No, this is a different one. But this is a good conversation for a lot of you folks out there who do sport dog work or in that sport dog world or know about it. Do you want to quickly give them some delineation between what you consider sport dog and working dog? Because I think this gets really muddled.
Absolutely, it does. And the good part about it is, I try to say this as nicely as I always can. So my very
These sport dog guys are all fucked up.
That's not.
I'm totally teasing. He brings
Sean
out the bad.
At thegoodDog.com.
Right? Thought bubble.
So my answer to that question always is I have the utmost respect for people that want to do sports because it truly is a passion. It's a drive. It's you want to compete. You want to do your best with your animal, and so I support.
It's just a different discipline.
It is, and that's where I draw that distinction. And the reason I'm so passionate about this is no bullshit. In my career, my life has depended on the hardness of the dogs that I'm not a canine handler, and I have not been at work, but I have been on hand for dog apprehensions, and I've literally handcuffed people with a dog still attached to them, and that dog apprehended that person out of the bushes. We didn't even know they were there. They had
what does attached mean?
Do you want me to go attach one of my dogs to you?
No.
You've got a dog. You saw Cujo attached to my leg.
That's right. I did. I did. So that's attached.
They sometimes attach themselves to you.
Okay. It's not an affectionate thing. It's not an emotional thing.
Well, they're happy about it. So a lot of affectating going on during that moment. Like it's like
so it's a physical
they love you
attachment
for letting
that
them-
does have a foundational emotional
it
attachment.
does, yeah.
Right,
They
right.
appreciate you letting them
Bite
be
you.
attached to you. So
Okay.
that's a very thankful proposition.
See how
there.
things get so murky here? Okay.
Yeah. So, like, my life has depended on the dog's hardness and the ability to do that work. And in seeing that end result, and then any of our clients that depend on these dogs or hope to depend on these dogs in a life threatening situation, if it's
This is a no bullshit
yeah, it's a
situation.
personal
This
defense
is yeah.
dog. We can't be. This is the shit has gone really wrong if your dog is defending you at that point in time.
Right.
And so I take that charge really seriously, and navigating this over the last couple of years with some partnerships with people that trained in a certain sporty fashion and stuff.
Yeah.
And kind of going, okay, it all looks the same, but when you realize from a person like Bill Ketchum who very forcefully tells you the differences, and you kind of go, I don't really buy it, and then it's told to you like, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about, and you go, okay, well, I don't have skin in either game, I don't have a sport background, I always equate this to being religious, and you have a religious upbringing of whatever it be, and you're devoutly Catholic as you were brought up, and somebody from a completely different religion comes along, like maybe a Muslim, and says, but this is the way. They will never agree. They will never. It is not there's no commonality.
It's
there.
a tough one.
You just can't give up one for the other. And so people that have that sport, it's what they've seen, it's what they've learned, it's what they know.
But I'm going to jump in real quick. So with sport dogs, I think from what I've gathered, and correct me if I'm wrong, but for a lot of folks, they feel like sport dogs that are taught to bite sleeves and do certain, not that you guys don't do sleeves and things like that, but that those dogs are playing a game based on certain certain contextual things, but also certain things that are present, and without those present and without the game, you don't get the same dependability reaction, or someone's in big trouble in that next room. I know who it is. It's the young dog. Anyways, but am I close?
You are. That's exactly right. And it's it's the age old question is the people that in those disciplines, my dog will bite for real. And it's not that it wouldn't or couldn't, or there aren't a lot of dogs that won't. It's just those are choreographed routines.
That's a good way to put it.
It's you train.
I talk
for
about
this
like
event.
rehearsed behaviors.
Yes, it's like saying we're going to do a gymnastics routine, and every gymnastics routine, everybody will do the same routine. We will do 3 front flips, 3 back flips, those things, and all we have to do is figure out who does it the best, and we're going to just score you.
Gauged upon all of those similar things.
And so it's not. There's no deviation in these sports. The sport is a very controlled environment in a very controlled environment with very controlled exercises, all of them across the board, and I don't care what anybody says.
Is this just to help for me and everybody else? So are we talking about Schutzen?
So Schutzen IPO is Schutzen.
So those are the same.
Named to IPO.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's
Schutzen
no longer.
is no longer. It's not called IPO.
Did they not like that name?
I'm not joking. As it's been told to me, Schutzen sounded too mean. It was literally bite protection sports, and so they wanted to change it and make it a little softer.
Okay, great.
Which is one of the complaints about some of these sports.
Aha!
Is when you change the name to make it sound nicer.
Look at that. Yeah. So we've got IPO.
Yes.
We've got straight up obedience, but that's not.
AKC,
that's not bite work or anything
titles.
like
No,
that.
it's just,
Any other worlds that I'm not covering?
A lot, yeah. There's KNPV over in Holland, which is the national the police test for dogs there, but it is now a sport, KNPV. So a lot of dogs that come over here. My new dog Goose is a KNPV dog. He has a title there. He competed. So that's a whole separate discipline. Looks much different. They use bite suits instead of just the sleeve in IPO.
Okay.
There's French ring, Mondio ring, which there's internal differences, but for our purposes, they're the same, which is a completely different discipline as well.
Okay.
Scoring,
but once again, still like scoring on choreographed behaviors and certain tasks the dogs have to do.
Different things and stuff, but in the end, they are all done on a field. You know what you're to expect when you show up.
And the dog does too.
The dog does, and it's conditioned to it. And so what we have seen time and time again, when we take those dogs and then put them like no bullshit, we'll take them like, hey, I'm gonna throw a bucket at your dog when he comes to bite me because I need to know what that looks like.
Right.
And so we've seen some high level competitive dogs that I have no doubt can gain one of those titles in whatever discipline they're in. And you throw something at it it's never seen in an environment it's never seen. Ask it to go bite in the bed of a truck like I have on my property and do some stuff that gets in its head and it kind of goes, I don't really feel good about this, you know? And whether or not it will work through it is our job to find out. But that's,
right.
Or that's where the two worlds divulge for me, or diverge, or
so
whatever.
It's kind of like a choreographed world with expectations for a handler and dog, and then real world, not to put too much on that, but real world where it's unpredictable and you need the dog to be able to perform a certain task in a lot of different context variations and variables that could be unexpected, and make sure the dog is as bomb-proof as possible to perform that.
Probably the best analogy I can give it as I'm sitting here, because I have a lot of them, but the best I can think of now is if you've ever seen somebody doing Tai Chi in a park. Tai Chi has a very fluid, and every morning that person would do a Tai Chi routine, and it would be very, I know what that is, or any entry level martial art of, you know, these are the steps to earn your yellow belt, and it's a very thing, it's a choreographed thing. Versus not that you and I would fight because I would definitely win, but
probably true.
Yeah, no, I actually work out a lot more than I do, so you got the cardio that I do.
But I would like jump on your back and like just ride you around like a horse.
It versus a street fight, like a straight up brawl. You know, like that's they're just different. You know, so it's not.
That's a really good example.
Or somebody that has practiced martial arts their whole life and has never been punched in the face for real, and doesn't know how they would respond to that. And
as
maybe if you got
Mike Tyson famously says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
And I've been in maybe a fight once in my career, and it is not like that. Yeah, all bets go off the window when shit starts hurting. So that's what we train for is anything that doesn't go to building the dog and making them harder and tougher and more courageous, and that can-do attitude, we've discarded it from our program. And some of them are massive differences, and some of them are very subtle differences. And again, once you see it, and once you see the difference in the dog raised under this foundation versus raised under a sport foundation, and it pops up for us every day. It's one of those, you know, and some of our people within our crew are from a different background and have learned some sport stuff along the way. Phil, one of our decoys, was taught this method, and kind of some resistance in the beginning because it's like, I don't really know that it matters that much. And now he sees it. Now he sees the end results of dogs that have been raised under the way that we raise them, because he's a huge part of that. And then he sees the end results of some dogs that have been raised in a sport foundation that have just been thrust over into this and tested in this fashion, and it's in their head. It's you know, some of the things you're doing in a sport are working against you later on. Okay,
so the upshot, I'd say, for all the layman peeps out there and women, is that sport dog stuff is kind of choreographed activities that are scored. And it doesn't mean that the dogs aren't great, aren't talented, and maybe might bite for real, but that's not really what they're geared to play a game. Right? Yeah. And so, and that's not to detract from it. It's just that it's a game. It's like any other obedience, fly ball, whatever. Like it's just more of a serious
game.
game.
Some of the conditioning becomes so ingrained at that dog that then that habit can't get out of them. An example I can give you from personally is we've done some scenarios with some dogs that are IPO trained, and so they're only in IPO. They only bite the left arm. Period. Left arm sleeve. Period. That's all they would ever bite. Even if you're right-handed, you use a left-handed sleeve, but in IPO, you would be using the left-handed sleeve.
Okay.
And they would never get a leg bite. In their whole life, they would never bite the leg of a decoy.
What if the guy doesn't have a left arm?
I don't think he could be certified as an IPO decoy.
I'm just
unfortunately. So actually, if he didn't have a left arm, he would just have a sleeve on one of those thingies down there, and he could just
and let the dog just bite away. Right. Okay. I was thinking more like real world, but like they're not supposed to bite real world.
So
it doesn't matter.
You're falling into my trap.
Right.
Thank you. So what we've done, what we've seen is dogs that have that training. If you block them, literally with a trash can lid, we have a metal trash can lid, and Phil will use like Captain America and like fend the dog off. Hey, you're coming in to bite. Boom, you get fended off. I'm going to block that arm from you. And you see a dog like, shit, I don't, that arm is not available to me. What am I, and you'll see them circle around and jump multiple times. And you keep clearing them off. Nope. Nope. And sometimes they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
When we're in a bite suit, so they have the ability to bite something else, but they're not used to it. They've never seen it. It won't. It's
a little confusing then.
It is.
Yeah.
And the dog has not been ever free enough to. He's never been allowed to see the picture of biting something other than that, and it's incredibly confusing. So he just keeps trying, and he keeps. Some of them are incredibly like aggressive about, I mean, they're really determined to do it, but it's like, hey, I got this over here too, the right arm, and they're like, don't know what that's supposed to be.
Wow.
So my dog Buster,
it's so context specific.
It is. And,
wow.
And I have seen decoys running down the field taking that left arm away, and the dog's running next to him going, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to bite.
Wow.
Wouldn't ever enter their thought process.
Yeah.
Because they've never been allowed to do it, and or corrected because maybe they went towards a leg, but you have no bite equipment on your leg as an IPO decoy, and you would not want the dog to think that that's okay to bite you there.
It's good information as far as like pet dog trainers thinking about how subtle contextual changes turn a dog's world upside down, right?
Do place right here a whole bunch and then move the place caught somewhere else, and the dog's like, what the hell? Or when it's time to do your go home and you've done a million things of place all around the place, and now the owner is doing place, and that dog's like, I've never done that with him or her.
Right. Or I'm so
weird
like flipped out and yeah.
So for me, for Buster, my personal dog, we did that same thing, and I've never done this with him. He's just been allowed to bite, whatever he takes, or we purposely feed him legs and different arms and the back and the whatever.
Buster.
Buster's about a 100-pound Dutch Shepherd. He's super friendly.
Yeah.
And you've seen him before.
Yeah.
So we did this the other day and told Jimmy, fend him off, and so he comes in and whang, gets clanged in his big old dumb head, and as soon as he came by, spun, immediately took him in the leg, and it was like, whoa, that's awesome, he had the thought and the wherewithal to go, that didn't work, and I have the freedom to bite what I choose.
To make another choice.
Yeah, and he made the choice, what was available immediately, and that's what we want, because that's real life,
Right.
No, in my career of, like I said, being involved in about 6 apprehensions, and some of them watching the people running, from the patrol car behind me going, this is going to be really good or bad, depending on your point of view. Yeah.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how this turns out for him.
Right.
And never one of those people were they ever standing in the middle of a giant grass field going, here you go. They're running for their lives, or they've been hiding, and it's so... the dog has to have the freedom and the ability to do that. So that's
awesome.
Yeah.
So that's really, really good information. I know we're stretching out here, but this is really good as far as folks that are kind of contemplating some of that. And big shout out to my friend Julie West, by the way, who's in, I want to say Yorkshire, if I've got it right. We've known each other since back in the olden days of the internet, back Yahoo Yahoo groups.
Maybe some
I don't know if it's dial-up, but it was I was on a quasi semi smartphone. It was it was working on being smart. It was in first grade. And it was me, Julie West, handful of other people, Tyler Muto, we're all just kind of starting out. This is years ago. Yeah. And Julie has gone on. She works with just Dobies. That's her thing.
Yeah.
And her girl, her female Dobie, just got accepted in the World Championships.
Nice.
They just qualified for the World Championships of obedience stuff. And
that's
so
amazing.
So big shout out to Julie, because
awesome.
She's a badass. Yeah.
And like I said, for me personally, I offer support to anybody that did. I have the utmost respect for somebody to have that much.
It's just a different discipline.
Yeah, it's
different
a drive for that.
It's a different task. It's a different task. It's a different end goal, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody sends a dog to us, the end goal is not to teach it to bite. The end goal is to teach it most likely not to bite.
Yeah, please don't ever do that.
And behave itself and be in a good space. A dog who's in IPO or something or one of those sports is going to be trained to do different things in order to excel at that. A dog who's doing fly ball is going to be taught to how to complete the fly ball task and do it fast and do all that stuff. But let's.
So that question you asked me, the challenge for us on the working dogs and the two sides. Is we have the working.
But
dogs.
Before you get into that, you haven't shared with everybody that. So what Ashley's doing, which is kind of interesting, and you've probably even gotten some pushback from it,
A little bit.
is that you are working on blending those two worlds. And I don't mean blending and
Right.
doing the same thing.
No.
I mean you are actually actively working on a full blown, deeply entrenched, badass working dog program, but also a full blown, deep ass, whatever I said. Sorry.
You were using a term the other day. I gotta talk to you about it. Like in your own ass.
Yeah. Well,
You said that like 90 times.
really?
I don't think that means what you think that means.
I think no. I said up your own behind.
Yeah.
That's a term I'll use a lot
Okay.
if I feel like I'm being like up my own behind, like thinking too much, using big words, trying to be too fancy.
Head. Okay, that's different than head up your own ass.
Yeah. Up your own behind is a little more sophisticated way of saying head up your own ass, right? You could say the same thing, but like up your own behind
like
is a
your
little more
word.
gentlemanly, right? And so I try and stay out of there because it's not a good place for my head to be. So, anyways, I don't know what I was saying.
Blending the two.
Yeah, so not only are you doing the working dog program full on, but now you guys have been working hardcore on creating a full behavior modification program,
Yeah,
obedience
yeah,
training,
yeah,
and the whole
exactly,
deal.
yeah.
And so share really quickly what those goals are, what you guys are doing, what kind of dogs you're taking on, and then the challenges maybe inherently in kind of like navigating those two worlds.
Yeah, so, and I think after having come down here and realized that world and going into people's homes and trying to change dog behavior wasn't going to quite get it, so we have to do full rehabilitation. The dog comes to us, it's a real approximation of what you guys do here, or what anybody that's in that space is doing, that's truly rehabilitating dogs. And for me personally, so I can really make that distinction between those two worlds, I've even dropped the modification side of it. It's behavior rehabilitation.
Yeah.
I want people to
It's
understand
trademarked.
the whole
Serious shit.
It is. It's true
Yeah,
behavior
I watched this guy with the
rehabilitation.
trademarks. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're dastardly with the trademarks.
My shit.
I know,
People steal your
man.
shit.
Yeah, I know, man.
You know it.
You're quick. You're
so
quick.
really, because I want people to understand what he says so much is if I feel if I use the modification term, too many people are like, oh, you modified my dog's behavior, and then what you really have done with your book and with the empowerment for the owner so much is the rehabilitation. This is not just us training your dog and modifying it. This is rehabbing him and you and the relationship. And so we invest so much into that. So the challenge for us has been literally in a moment going, I walk this dog and then I walk this dog, and this dog is here because he wants to bite people and can never do that again in life. Right. No more biting ever again. That's not appropriate. And then going, put him back in his crate and take this dog out. Hey, go bite Phil.
Right.
Look how good he's biting.
And even walk differently.
Yes,
right? So like
you called me out when I was down here, and I say it time and time again. Sean O'Shea called me out during my shadow because I was walking too fast. As we were on walks with your client dogs, you're like literally, hey, in your Sean O'Shea way, hey, do you mind like walking a little slower? I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? And you're like,
we're healing here.
Walking really fast. I'm like, yeah, no shit, we're healing. Like, walk, buddy.
Yeah.
In working dog world, we walk quickly. So the dog can stretch out. It looks more comfortable for him. And you're like, you're freaking my fucking dog out here. Like, we're off on a power walk, and then the poor little.
But it's good
I
for
think it was the little miniature schnauzer. The poor little guy is like trying to truck it out, and he's like,
right.
And the energy that like. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better person to explain it to me because he's got the vibe here, the Sean O'Shea, like, chill. And when he said it, it was literally like, hey, are we walking? Or are we like, hey, Sean O'Shea, like, we're walking. And I was like, fuck, that is such a clear picture of the energy that I'm bringing to this dog as a working dog that I want, and this dog that I have to extinguish. And when we are headbutting with these working dogs, because they have so much energy and we're trying to cap that,
right,
is now maybe that's something I'm doing. So we're literally jumping from these two sides.
Challenging.
And for any of you out there that are dog trainers, and this is the part that we all struggle with, and I kind of want to do like a personal, PSA for a moment, is this industry can get so much animosity on, like, fuck those people, they're doing it wrong, and that's been one of the challenges. I'm not gonna lie, there's been days where I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna abandon one or the other, whichever one makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you're in this space and everybody's like, you're doing it wrong. You're doing this. You should more treats, less treats, more e-collar, less e-collar.
Yeah.
And we have that now on two worlds.
Right.
World
So you're doing shitty working dog stuff and shitty behavior
mod.
mod.
You didn't get engagement from that dog and the focus and the fucking whatever, and you're just like, I have no bullshit. In the same day, within about 2 hours, gotten phone calls from people that I respect on 2 different disciplines, and one is like, you're showing too much pet dog horse shit on your Facebook page, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I know. And then the other person is like, hey, I had referred some clients to you, and they said on your Facebook page you just like all working dog stuff, and how does that apply to their poodle?
It's a tough one.
I feel schizophrenic sometimes.
I totally get it, and I also get why a lot of folks shy away from doing both.
Yeah.
A lot of folks what they'll do is
both. They're kind of gently
or they'll do more pet
stuff.
dog stuff, and then in their free time they'll do more like
have a lot
sport
of people
dog
that
stuff like that.
Yeah, like pet trainers, and then like I do a little bit of sport stuff too, and like that's cool. It's an outlet for you. You love dogs, and it's kind of natural. Or sport dog people are like, I do sport training, and I do some pet stuff too, and you're kind of like.
But cool. it's a safer way because I think what you were just saying is like it is a contentious world, and then when you offer yourself up for both of those or like multiple disciplines to be like crapped on, it's a challenging.
What you get on a daily basis, and double that.
And I feel for you, brother.
You open yourself up for, and we welcome it. It's like I said, I've been a cop for 20 years. Fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, but
you're not going to say anything meaner than some people have said to my face. So, and my challenge always out there is, if we want to have some really cool discussions, cool, but don't say anything to me online that you wouldn't say to my face.
Right.
And that's what I want as that PSA message is, let's all be good to each other. Let's all support each other in this, like maybe I don't agree with what Sean, and Sean knows it first off for me, and I'm sure he's right back at me. We've had a lot of discussions on, there's some things that Sean does, so I'm like, I don't agree with those choices. Not that I don't agree with them, but those choices aren't what
the
our
red
choices
shoes
are.
always work. I don't know why you have such an issue.
The red shoes?
The red shoes always work.
You haven't worn the red shoes since I've been here.
I know, because you're sensitive to them. So, but I mean, the red shoes always work.
Do they? I like those ones a lot.
I know. That's why I wore these for you.
Feet, I'd actually steal them.
No. Okay, moving on.
So I've told Sean, like, some of the choices that they make in their program are not the choices that we make, but I applaud his decisions, and that's what I think the industry needs more of, is less of the fucking
boldness. I like that, because the boldness to go out, everybody I know that I like, that I follow, even if I don't agree with 100% of what they do, I really love folks that go out that have the boldness to say, this is what I believe, this is what I'm going after, this is what I'm going to implement, and here's why, and then show the results, and then let the chips fall where they may, and you may agree.
Not bullshit about it. You have the end results. You can show your end results.
Yeah, but we all know the folks that are out there that are like putting out their work and are saying like, here it is,
right. And the variables in that route are, to me, are what make people interesting, and it's like, I just want to encourage more of that. That's why I enjoy interacting with so many people on the internet, to say like, do your shit, awesome. You know?
It's just very easy to criticize and stand back and be super safe, and it takes a lot of guts to put yourself out there, especially in multiple disciplines and do your thing. So
or lack of brains. I mean, like, I'm not sure it's the smartest choice sometimes.
No, I think you enjoy the challenge.
I do, and something that I think you all can get from listening to us now is like passion. Like, really, if you're passionate about what you do, I don't care what people say about me. Like time and time again, by people extremely close to me, I've been told, you can't do that. I'm like, just fucking watch me, The weird part is I'm doing it every day, so if I wasn't able to do it, I'm a huge believer in the market will decide what I can and can't do, and I wouldn't be in business today if I couldn't do it. So same
thing here. It's like we get so much. I see it on different dog training forums. Well, Sean O'Shea this or Sean O'Shea that. And it's like, all I know is that the dogs are going home really in a great space, and the clients are happy, and I really don't give a shit about anything else.
You can't hide in this day and age,
No.
Like with Facebook and Instagram that we all put ourselves off, we use it to our benefit, but it can be our biggest enemy.
Yeah.
5 people pissed off at us really making a deal about it can really dampen what we do. Maybe not you so much, but in my infancy over the last year, 5 bullshit, or realistic, if I didn't do the work and I wasn't legit, 5 people saying that and really, really driving that message, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I wouldn't have the money to drive down here. So.
And it's kind of that's a valuable kind of tempering rite of passage kind of process, in that if you don't have the guts to kind of stick to your guns and put yourself out there, put your stuff out there, and take the heat, then you kind of fall by the wayside. And I think that's kind of how the marketplace works. Right. So the marketplace is like, here's your opportunity, share your story, share your beliefs, share what you've got. You're going to take some fucking shots, and if you're not willing to take those shots, you're going to be asked to step off the ride. And if you are willing to take those shots, then you got a shot.
And it's incredibly intimidating to do that, I can tell you, because I had never done a video prior to coming down here and meeting you and stuff. I didn't think about doing Facebook videos. Yeah. I thought it was just, I was supposed to share it with my family and friends.
Those sex tapes didn't count.
They didn't make the money I thought they would.
they never do, man.
No, they work for Paris Hilton and the Kardashians and stuff like that. And like, I'm putting it out daily and nobody's buying it. You know? Like,
we'll work on the marketing side of that.
TMZ's not pimping my shit.
We'll work on that.
Okay. I'm going to just put it out myself now. I make it go viral all on my own. Like, oh my gosh, look at this guy. So I honestly, like, I would have never thought
There's click farms, by the way.
There's what?
Click farms.
Is that like an ant farm?
It's similar. Casey Neistat.
I've had an ant farm as a child.
Fascinating. So, anybody who knows Casey Neistat, he's now working for CNN. Oh. CNN bought out his organization Beam. We are so not going to get to any questions today. This will just be a different event.
We can film Q&A tomorrow.
If we could do a double shotter, double header, double shot.
We'll double team this.
Double team. So Casey got bought out by CNN. He had an app called Beam, which was kind of like Snapchat. Yeah. And so CNN bought the whole team, and the app had failed, but bought the team. And so Casey's kind of creating like a newer, youthful, alternative kind of like programming for news, and it's not going to be political and cheesy and shit like that. But one of the things they went to was they were in like Thailand, and they went to a click farm.
Oh.
And a click farm is where you can pay like $29.99 or $35.99 and say, I want 5,000 likes or 5,000 followers on Instagram. And they showed it inside the room. Yeah. There's like 10,000 cell phones, and they've got all these SIM cards, and they switch them all out. You sign up for whatever you want, and then like they've got all these folks in there, and they're like beep, 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 beep. Next thing you know, you've got like so.
I thought maybe they grew them like a click farm, like
well, they're farming it of sorts, but no.
That seems.
It's not illegal. Dishonest. It is dishonest, but what's funny is that.
But how much did it cost again?
It was cheap. That's the whole thing.
Well, someone might only get like 3 likes, and that hurts.
Right? Yeah. So it was legal.
Okay.
This is really going like far afield.
Yeah.
But they were arrested for tax evasion. Not Casey, but the guys in Thailand that were doing the stuff. Yeah. But it was wild to see just walls of smartphones, and that they had thousands of SIM cards, and they would just swap them out, and then just literally they
game in the system.
And they did it to one of their guys there. They didn't tell him, and all of a sudden his phone's blowing up, and he's like, I've got 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 followers. He's like, what's going on here? Anyways, so.
But to that somewhere.
Yeah, who knows where I'm going.
That's the caffeine talking.
Yeah.
Mr. Cappuccino. We had a small discussion recently about 2. That's it.
2.
You're way under your quota for the day. You feel all right?
I had 2 at Starbucks before I came here, 4 shots each.
Wait a minute. So 2 4 shots each.
Yeah.
So that's 8.
Yeah.
That's 8. Motherfucker.
It doesn't compete with your Mountain Dew. The Mountain Dew Red, I'm sure is I'm sure you got it all over.
No way, dude. Thank you for. Because I was going to say, we had a conversation about this, and you just fell into my trap again. Viewers
Anyone who doesn't support me on this will be banned and deleted. Anybody who supports Ashley
can come over to my page. There is no way on God's green earth that Mountain Dew has more in this can than your 8 shots of espresso. 8 shots, Sean.
All I know is the folks at Starbucks were like, "You're so mellow."
Let's fuck that up. Yeah.
I'm like, because
Because it doesn't do anything to you.
No, it doesn't do anything anymore.
You got
like,
a problem. Yeah. We're going to have an intervention here one of these days. I'm going to roll up out front and you're going to be a film crew. And we're like, Sean,
if I was
here's
feeling
how
like
this is going to go. Like,
yeah, like we got to really like bust through this thing. But I'm like,
that's bad when 8 shots doesn't really phase you.
I don't know if Starbucks is really coming with it. The shots may not have all the juice that they say.
Yeah.
Ooh, would that be a sponsor?
I know somebody that does coffee that might, though.
Anyways,
but,
okay.
To speak to your point about, there was a point in there about this social media thing and putting stuff out there and whatnot. I wasn't aware of all of that stuff. I didn't think about doing videos or anything like that. I literally thought Facebook was, I share it with my family and friends, they're supposed to like it, and then somehow, and you open my eyes to the whole world. And what we want people to know too that are watching this from a business perspective, or trying to start and get down that path and use social media as your friend and tool, is I did a video, remember, because I came down here for 3 or 4 days first and went home and then came down for the remainder of it. While I was home, I actually filmed a video in Tahoe, and I have never posted that video.
Oh, really? I
was petrified to do it. I was walking around in front of the house. We were up in Tahoe during a freak spring snowstorm, snowing its ass off, and I still have the video. I haven't posted it. I'm probably going to post it on the anniversary, the second anniversary.
You should.
We've already been a year past it. And
what were you talking about?
Just some random bullshit. I was just literally walking around like, Sean O'Shea does this, and goddamn it, I need to as well. And it was, watched it. I'm like, there's no way I can post it. I am absolutely petrified to put that out there. People are going to laugh at me. People are going to make fun of me. And I think so much of this discussion about what people say and feel and stuff, and so much of this social media content is having for me the courage, which sounds stupid in a job where I carry a gun and wear a bulletproof
and
vest,
people want to shoot at you.
Courage, and then I'm fucking scared to put a video of myself on the internet because what do people say? People think that was stupid, or that message, and really kind of trying to navigate where that is and going, well,
because in one context you've got you've got certainty, you know what your gig is, you know how to comport yourself, you know how to like move through that world in a way that feels safe, confident, and you can do your gig. The other
we
one,
all have that. We all are very good at whatever it is we do. This is we're good at it.
Absolutely. The other one involves exposure and vulnerability, and maybe not saying the right thing, or and
that's where you can get so much into your own head of are people going to believe me, or if I say this thing about a prong collar or using a tug on a working dog, or all the people that are gonna, and you become so afraid of putting out content and being who you are because of what people might say. Like, now once you do it and you start to realize, and then it took me about a month or two, because I'm not gonna lie, there was I think probably that first video was a lot of like, I look like Sean O'Shea, and because that's what I knew and that's what taught me that. Right. And I was trying to see, like,
you got to start so you can find yourself.
I can't wear a deep V shirt ever in my life. It would petrify me, and you look amazing in that hat, but I couldn't wear it, and you would never wear a baseball hat, and I wear them all the time. And so the guy that I'm emulating here, and who has taught me how to do this, I can't be like him, and I don't talk like you, and I don't, even though we have a lot of similarities and a lot of similar beliefs, we are two very different people. You don't own a pair of shorts, and I rarely wear pants. I am, in fact, denim free in my life. I do not own a pair of denim pants.
And I don't own a pair of shorts.
And so how do I put something out? How do I find who I am? And it takes some time of walking around and filming yourself and just going, fuck it, I'm just going to post it. I'm just going to post it.
That's really the gig, man.
And then you start to realize it doesn't matter what I say. Somebody will have a problem with it. And that is not who I care about. The people I care about, and I'm sure you feel the same way, are the people that DM you or message you or email you, or like, what you said helped me so much. And what you said changed the way I look at my dog. And you're like, all I said was, don't walk so fast on a walk, because I got yelled at by Sean. And once I started doing, somebody's like, I never had that component. And you're like, son of a bitch. Like, that's all it takes to help people. And then that really spurs us, and should you as well, as to go, just be who you are. Whoever you are is important and unique and special in the world. And who you are is not who I am, and it is not, I am not who he is.
Yeah.
And the biggest travesty that you could do is try to be
emulate
anybody else, because the world would not see who you are, and we want to see who you are.
Yeah, and so you could, excuse me, you can borrow, you can take concepts, you can take ideas, and you can try and implement them. But if you try and emulate, everyone's going to see it. I mean, if you try and emulate at an extremely high level without infusing yourself, everyone's going to see it, and they're going to.
We want to see your passion.
It's going to disconnect.
Believe in, because let's be honest, like the dog training concepts that we all have and everything like that. Like, we've probably invented small little nuances and stuff like that, but you didn't go out and invent a prong collar or an in collar. It wasn't like, hey, contact a company and make them make this product for you, and that's what I'm going to use. These are all things that have been around for years and have been modified and used and tweaked. And so while the concepts and our my voice is my voice and your voice is your voice, like, overall we're just sharing this stuff, and you'll see, if you watch my videos, you'll see a lot of the same concepts and vice versa. And so, like, none of us are sitting here saying, like, groundbreaking type stuff, but the message is authentic to you.
You know what's so funny, though? I was
Although your book is groundbreaking.
Thank you, and world renowned. I was watching a Gary Vee episode today, and he was in the studio with some rapper, somebody I don't even know, and Gary's got a guy who's kind of like his hip hop like guy, Gary Vaynerchuk, for anybody who doesn't know, and he's got his hip hop guy who's kind of like got his finger on the pulse, and so they're in the studio with this, like, obviously well-known dude, and they are talking about, how did I tie this in? So, where were we just a second ago? Work with me.
Passion, authenticity, your voice, my voice, being who you are.
Yes, thank you. It just came back. So, and the guy who,
almost gonna get up and walk away.
so the Gary's hip hop guy was talking to the actual rapper, who's this famous guy, and he was telling Gary, he was saying that, because this guy actually does speeches for tech stuff. He's like really kind of like got a foot in each camp. And he was saying, I've heard all of this stuff a million times, but when, I wish I knew the rapper's name, but when he spoke, it was the first time I got it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the magic. The magic in it is that each of us are going to have a unique experience of perception, perspective, how things resonate, what kind of wording really like gravitates from our own upbringing and experiences and things like that. So you can get on, do a video, and connect with people that I could do, basically try and attempt the same content, and it wouldn't resonate with them, and then you can, and they'll be like, that makes total sense, and then the same thing can happen with me. And so what I look at every single day is I get the thing truly that gets me excited is that laying in bed, and I've got my phone.
It gets me excited when you lay in bed too.
Well, you know, it's contagious. And as I'm going through the phone, all I'm looking for are things that excite me, that I can share, that I feel I could put a spin on, right? And one of the most important things I've learned in kind of studying, and especially with Stephen Pressfield, who's one of my big, I was going to say one of my big fans, and that would be the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah.
I'm one of his big, no, I'm over down, but not that world. I'm one of his biggest fans, and
amazing stuff, by the way. I've read it. Caitlin's reading.
Pressfield's super awesome, and I'm losing my track again because that's just how my brain works.
One of his big tenets, one of his big things that
it's so good to have somebody like to hold your hand and like walk you through here.
You don't understand that this is a massive strength of mine, and I have people that, because we do a lot of Instagram lives and a lot of Facebook lives, and I have people that no bullshit are amazed at my ability, because I have massive ADD like you do too. And my ability to go so far off the rails, and then 5-7 minutes, and come right back to where I was.
Right.
But the problem is I'm not the one talking right now.
Right.
So I'm not even really paying attention to what you're saying.
So we're doomed.
Stephen Pressfield,
so we're
you
doomed.
lay in bed in some of your concepts, and one of the things that,
So the thing that I think about the most when I'm laying in bed and going through stuff is what would be the most, It was concept. That was that. So Stephen talks a lot about in his book, No One Wants to Read Your Shit. He talks a lot about concept, and that could sound very like nebulous, but concept is taking an idea, right, which could be dog training in any facet, and having a certain angle of presentation that makes it interesting, unique, fascinating, novel, and grabs people in a certain way. So for me, whenever I'm writing, I almost always start with the title. The title is what inspires me. So if we're talking about something, my brain is always looking for a unique way that a title can come out that I know will grab people's attention, but also spur my interest in writing about it, because it'll be a fun, unique way of doing it. So all I do is look every day, what can I share that will be impactful or helpful? And whether it's writing or whether it's a video, whether it's Instagram stories, honestly, I feel so privileged. I feel so blessed to be in a position where, you know, us coming from a time where this wasn't the ability, right? Cell phones didn't exist, smartphones didn't exist.
No. My daughter, who's 15 and a half, this will make you feel old, buddy. We've gone into antique stores, and they have a phone that is not an antique phone like, you know, where you call the operator and she moves the pegs. This is just a dial rotating phone.
Yeah.
She's interested in it as an antique. Like, she wants one for her room. We don't have a home phone line because we use cell phones, obviously. So she wants a relic.
I wonder if there's a way that you could actually program, like put some electronics into one of those to where you could use it.
That'd be badass. Because you know what the other byproduct of that is when you hang up on somebody with one of those phones, it's so more satisfying.
Oh yeah, because you get a real
clang and it's ring.
Yeah, there really is.
Yeah. You hang up on somebody on an iPhone and you just glass screen.
And like, oh, it just went dead. Did we lose signal?
Yeah, we drop calls all the time. I call you right back. No, asshole, I hung up on you.
Right.
Yeah.
This is definitive.
Yeah, and everybody knows it. But one of the things that I wanted to tie into with you too, because it's funny, when I thought about filming with you while I was down here, one of the things that, and we're moving towards this route is the Q&A stuff. Don't get me wrong, is amazing. The stuff you share, dog training concepts and stuff like that. But what I really enjoy, and I want to help people see this side of you, is your journey and your growth here, because 143 Q&A episodes of you talking about dog stuff and whatnot, there are some personal development moments in there, but this is almost like a, you know, tell us how you grew up, Sean, and make you cry on TV, is how your journey here, and so when you're talking about putting out content that matters and doing this stuff, what I want people to understand and what we want you to feel, you may not be a dog trainer, you may have your own dog and just be struggling with stuff, and you may not have a need to put out videos or stuff, but what we want you to feel, and I know Sean does, is the empowerment side of this, and to get after it, whether it's in your business and putting out content or getting after your own dog and changing that relationship. And so I know one of the driving forces for you, and I know for me too, is when we talk about what we do as far as putting out content, and you write every day and the things that you write, we are writing it for you, but bigger is we believe in ourselves. Like when I put out a video, I no longer put it out for the return. I put it out because I believe in my message, and if not a single person looks at it, it would not change what I do. And I think that's another Gary Vee thing, not that I took that directly from him, but I know that's his overreaching philosophy, and yours too. All the amazing content that you write and put out and everything, you know it has an effect on people, and you see the work. But if not one person emailed you back or commented on your thing, it would not change what you're doing. Your voice.
I'd be sad, but
I'd
feel lonely.
Go back to parking cars,
right. I'd be lonely.
But you, and I think that was for me, kind of that earlier conversation of figuring out who I am and who Gold Hill is as an entity, and really believing in that. I don't give two shits about the feedback from that, positive or negative, as far as affecting who I am and what I do.
Right. The message is the message.
Because you believe in the good dog and the good dog way wholeheartedly. This is you, and you are it, and you believe in it, and so you do what you do because it's
Yeah.
who you are and you're expressing yourself. The fact that 25,000 plus people on Facebook also believe in that and
Yeah.
validate that is certainly powerful and important.
But it's been a slow build of trust.
It has.
It's been a slow build of
Yeah.
showing up every day and risking putting myself out there and saying things
Right.
that maybe some people don't agree with,
Right.
but that other folks are like, God, I've been waiting to hear that a certain
Right.
way
Yeah.
all my life. That resonates,
Right.
and
so I want you to delve in a little bit about too your journey to this too, because I'm in the same boat. Some people would look and go like, you train big scary dogs and you're a cop and stuff. And you and I, that's one of the things that has built our friendship is our sharing of our personal space a little bit on some of our vulnerabilities on that of you like putting yourself out there in front of people and literally standing in front of and talking in people, because it's intimidating and it's scary and how like. How do you get there?
It's an interesting thing. For one, I mean, it's been a hell of a lot of time and money in therapy.
Yeah.
I've studied and read a lot of books, and I think I feel, to be honest, if I'm going to just cut to the chase, I feel a huge responsibility. As somebody who's struggled for so many years, and you guys probably know my story, but struggled for so many years, finding answers. That's why I just wrote the book in a day, which is actually like 2.5 weeks to get it done, but it's at the copy editor.
That's no joke.
The reason that I feel compelled to do that is because I think it's like anybody, when you struggled and you've been through something and you find a way around to circumvent or to get over it or to expedite the healing process, you feel a certain responsibility and pressure to share that. And I don't mean pressure in a crappy way. I mean pressure in a really liberating way. So when I go out, I do Instagram stories, and we do like
a lot of them.
And we do a lot of them. Serenity Tuesday, which tends to be more of our heavier kind of stuff. It's trash day for those of you who don't know. And it's rarely planned, but it ends up being something where I just feel comfortable to just put out the stuff, and I can tell you why. It's so easy to do is because what nobody else gets to see are all the messages that come back.
Right.
All the messages that come back from people saying, I've been searching for this, or this has been a hindrance to my life, or no one's ever said this to me before, or this makes sense, or this resonates, or why hasn't anybody shared this with, or this somebody actually, the last one was about anger issues and frustration and things like that. And it was actually a request from a personal message on Instagram stories. Someone said, could you talk more about how you overcame anger stuff, which I had a ton of. And so I was like, well, that's a great idea. So it was one of the few Instagram stories that had a concept like based in, or before I started. And I kind of walked through it and tried to do my best to share the information. And I think the thing is being comfortable with that it doesn't always have to be perfectly delivered, that you don't always have to sound perfectly eloquent, that you don't always have to have the exact answer. But if you're out there and you're trying and you're doing it with integrity and I just think
authenticity.
I think the authenticity is it's such a crucial element that all of us are so programmed to see it and decipher it. And when we don't feel it, we just
to throw it in a dog training concept in here, because this is a dog training thing. We have just discussed within the last 24 hours authenticity between humans and dogs. When a dog can look at you and go, "You're full of shit. You are not a leader, and I know it. And you can stand here and jerk on my leash all day long and try to shout at me and
or
stuff
hit
like
the
that.
collar or whatever else."
But I'm not buying that for a second. And so the dog, like, dogs read that as well, and that may be some of the struggles you're having is you're not believable to the dog. And so in the process of you empowering people and working on people and building that is not like just press the e-collar when they don't mind you. It's like, what's going on? What's going on with you? What's going on in your head where really, I don't buy what you're saying right now. So that dog sure as shit doesn't buy what you're saying right now. So let's put the dog training aside and let's talk about, what do you got going on? And then to also touch on something we've had happen too, where it is that fear of showing up and fear of doing things and stuff. We had a young lady show up in Idaho, because our Instagram tag is, what is it? Train dogs, have fun, don't be dicks, kind of thing.
Right.
especially in the working dog world, is chock full of them.
Yeah.
And it's so intimidating to be around working dogs. And you know, Coralie didn't want to handle Noxie today because
Right.
she was intimidated by it.
Right.
Ooh, Noxie. And
Chewed up my bedspread.
yeah, she was a baby.
Yeah.
She'd do it again right
Chewy
now too.
baby.
Oh, she would rip the shit out of her right now. Yeah. Is that why you hated her, and that's why you gave her back?
No, but that put the exclamation
It
mark
was
on
the
it.
final.
That was my most
favorite
expensive bedspread I've ever had. Nancy, why?
She hasn't changed.
And she was like cuddled in between my lap.
Yeah.
In my leg.
Sleep, and she's actually
Yeah, and
ripping
she's
a
like,
hole in there. Yeah, because she's like, oh, you're busy fucking around on your phone right now.
right.
Yeah,
You're
write a
asleep?
book? I'm gonna make you pay.
Put my miner's hat on, a little light. Anyways, go ahead.
So, young lady drove 7 hours to hang out with us in Idaho at one of our training events, and honest to God, literally thought we were going to tell her to put her dog back in her car and leave. Like, wasn't good enough, it shouldn't be there, you have no business being with us, badass dog trainer stuff. And she shared that with me, and I was like, it almost literally like rocked me to tears. Like, what has the world become? What is this dog trainer thing? What has this whole thing been about that we have come to this point where some young lady, passion and drive, and this is her thing.
All this exclusion.
Yeah. Would literally think that we would not want to hang out with her, and that, to me, that's what drives me to be like, this should be fun, this should be like,
inclusive.
It really should.
Yeah.
We did a walk down on Santa Monica Pier the night before last, and some of the girls from here went and brought their own dogs and stuff, and so many people have messaged me back, and sorry, there's a couple of you I need to get back to, that like, I never would have expected my dog to behave this way. And it's like, why do we have these expectations, you know, like, and still in this day and age of all the information out there, and so, you know, our mission is to still empower people and still do that. Like, no, damn it, get your dog out and walk, enjoy this thing, enjoy that deal. So
I think the big message here is that we, and it's going to sound like heavy stuff, but we each get a little bit of time, and we can make something really special of it. We can do our work. We can do the work once we do that work, or even in the midst of doing that work, to share what we have and put it out there, take chances, take risks, take some hits, take some heat, and actually impact lives. And for me, that's what I found to be the most valuable component of this, beyond like the dog training and everything, is this community of feeling a ripple effect, of saying like, okay, I'm gonna do my work because I was a wreck. Like, anybody who wants to like get reviewed, just go to thegooddogway.com and click on the audiobook, and there's an free introduction, and it doesn't cost you anything. You can listen to it and hear my story and hear where I started. And everybody likes to, oh, I'm sure Sean was like blah blah blah, and like Sean was the furthest thing from that. And so I'm a big believer in the responsibility that we all have to do our best work to try and excavate our fullest potential, which can sound heavy and is a huge responsibility, and a lot of people will chicken out, which really saddens me, because there's so much great shit that so many people carry that that's been programmed out of them, scared out of them, beat out of them, and that we'll never see. And so all of us will miss it.
And so for me too, that, you know, like, I'm sitting here going like, okay, don't start like tearing up here for a minute, because that, even what you're saying right here. So for me to emphasize on that and to get even a little heavier than you just did, to really emphasize, in my line of work, I have seen the final moments of people on earth, you know, and when you're struck with that reality of this father, son, dad, whatever, coworker, whatever it is, drove out of their garage 32 seconds earlier and got broadside in the first intersection they came into, and they are no longer there. And I watched them leave this planet, and I'm a stranger, they don't know me, and that's who it is. You are not given 1 second to no
promise.
No, you're not.
No guarantees.
Not owed anything. You're not, and no, it doesn't matter what you believe, what your health is, what anything. It's like that, lights out, like
fragile.
Fragile. I've seen a guy in his younger age out front playing football with his son, boom, fall over, collapse, heart attack, dead on the spot. And it would have not mattered if paramedics were on him.
Right.
He was dead.
Right.
And so when you realize that's what you're working with, you know, I mean, we all like to live in that bubble.
The lack of promise.
97 is when I'm checking out. It's not. It could be 97 seconds from here. So, like, make the most of it. And it's not like, Jesus, you know, like, base jump and fly squirrel suits and everything. It doesn't have to be that all-encompassing.
That
it's
dramatic,
just like, be alive, you know, and for me, too. Like,
but I think it's a commitment, man. I think it's a commitment to saying, like, okay, from everything you just said, that's a great reality check for anybody out there that's thinking, like, because everybody gets in that space. It's human nature.
I'm in it.
And there's a certain reality in that if you only live for this moment, then you can really fuck up the future, right? So there has to be a balance there. But so thinking about, okay, I want to be working towards, you know, making sure the future is safe, but or secure, but also taking risks and chances and excavating my potential, my greatness, whatever it is, cultivating it. And greatness might be a hard word for a lot of you guys, but I'm going to go with it. But doing the work every day to where you can show up and make a difference in the world. And one of the things I like to always say is, like, go back to the folks that are your biggest, like, I know for you it's Tool.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to anybody, whether it's a writer, a band, a politician, a teacher,
your parents, family members,
whatever it is, and imagine them not doing their work, and then imagine them not taking the chance or the risk to put themselves out there and share what they have, and then imagine the band that's caused you so much joy and so much connection. Imagine it gone.
Yeah.
Right.
And 37 times I've seen them live. And if those guys had not believed in themselves to stand in front of each other and go, we're going to do this, nobody's ever heard anything like this, and we don't give two shits.
What if John Lennon was like, I'm just not into it? Right? What I mean, but like I encourage everybody to go down the list of the people, whether it's U2 or whether it's Justin Bieber or whether it's whoever it is. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not a qualitative thing based on, you know, any of our judgments. It's about what resonates with you.
And sometimes the world may never know that. It doesn't need to be, you know, you write, John Lennon writes that song, Yellow Submarine is all I can think of right up the top. Right. But, you know, the world may never know what you did, but you will. And you know.
I think Ringo sang that song.
Who?
Ringo.
Is that?
He's the drummer.
Player.
He's the drummer. I said bass player.
I'm going to admit to you freely right now, and this, you're probably going to hate me for it. I don't like the Beatles at all.
Okay, we got a problem.
I actually hate
We'll edit this part out.
There's not a Beatles song that I like.
I bet you Tool, if you sat them down.
Live and Let Die. I like that song.
That's not the Beatles. It's just Paul McCartney.
That's why I don't like the Beatles.
Do you like
the best had to leave and go write his own shit. And to be fair, I like the Guns N' Roses version.
I was gonna say, I knew you were so cheesy that you were gonna pick the Guns N' Roses version, which is so corny.
I gotta admit it. That's
so corny.
Yeah. But for those of you that are stuck in here, let me share something personally. Is that you know, like, my journey and my struggle over this last year was some stuff going on at work and whatnot. Is battling some internal demons and some depression type stuff and motivation, the daily, like the jump start to my business from coming down here and seeing that, and then that, like, now it's become work, now it's become and that doesn't speak to my personality. I'm like, ideas go there and get over there and do what I just said. So it works well there. And so, but literally right now, daily, of every day sitting here and going, I have to send an email, I have to do that, and I have to do this. And there are times on a daily basis where I'm like, I don't have it in me to do that. And the Stephen Pressfield books that you sent me do the work. And it was just like, doesn't fucking matter. You know, this whole resistance concept that he talks about is like, there's a million things to keep, and I know when it's happening. I can see it, and Caitlin and my wife and everybody calls me out on it. They know when I'm sitting here on my phone fucking Instagram and scrolling through stupid shit. They know what I'm doing. They watch what I'm doing. It's avoiding getting after it, because I have
it's a super common move.
And lists, and they get bigger when you run a business that is getting bigger, and you just like distraction, pressure, and it's just like, it's just easier to just watch on Instagram. Oh, look, that cat's making up something wrong. This meme is really
easy
funny.
on the brain.
Yeah. How many videos do you watch on Facebook? 3.5 minute video of a tractor rolling over or something like that, because it's easy to escape the pressure of doing.
It's all avoidance.
What's hard, whether it's going to the gym. I don't really do that.
We're gonna work
Eating
on
better,
that. We're gonna work
working
on that.
with your dog,
Yeah.
doing all that stuff, and it's you're really far down that path, but still every day have to remind yourself of that.
It's hard every day.
Me comes along and buys you a lot of donuts the other night, and then you didn't eat one of them right in front of me, and that hurts that you didn't do that. But then the next day you actually ate the other donut that wasn't for you, the old fashioned.
It's all true.
We had a thing and you didn't understand it because you didn't text me back when we were at Sloan's.
Yeah.
We each had we had 2 chocolate cream filled donuts, 2 chocolate old fashioned donuts, and 2 old fashioned donuts. And the reason there were 2 of each is you could get one and I could get one, and so that worked well until you didn't eat the chocolate old fashioned.
Buck the system.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm not gonna do it. And you didn't eat the chocolate old fashioned, so then I ate 2 chocolate old fashions,
right?
And then you had already eaten an old fashioned, so that other leftover old fashioned was for me. And
not if you substituted for a chocolate.
I didn't substitute it. I ate yours because you refused to, and you said
that's a substitute of sorts.
I'm not eating any more donuts. I'm back on the wagon. I'm juicing tomorrow. I'm going to the gym. You screwed me bad enough.
Everybody knows that discipline starts at the supermarket.
It does.
It doesn't start in your fucking kitchen.
No.
Keep the shit out of the house, and then I got a fighting chance.
Now, and then I had expectations of waking up the next day to that old fashioned that was for me still.
I probably saved a year of. I probably gave you an extra year of your life.
No, because now I'm panicked because I can't find that was my breakfast. And so where did that go, Sean?
I think what's her name? I think Henri ate it.
No, because Henri was out there doing the go home.
But I saw crumbs and stuff. I think
everybody knows where you're, because they know your dirty little secret that when Sean disappears during a go home,
and the bag starts to rattle.
Mm-hmm, yeah, we know he's not.
Or the ice cream jar, ice cream jar starts to make noise. Yeah. Truth is, I had it. Yeah. So
you did, and we all know it. And I'm glad your dirty little mouth just admitted to it.
Just keep it out of my house. That's all I ask.
Now we gotta go buy more.
Right? No, there will be no more. So. I think we've gotten off track a bit. We didn't get to any questions here.
What was the track? You had a whole list of questions over there.
I did a whole bunch of work. That'll have to be next week. But I really, truly believe that, doing your work and putting yourself out there is the responsibility of each one of us. And the cool thing is it gets easier and easier every time you do it. I think you'd agree.
It does.
The more you do it, the less you give a shit.
The concept of this is all hard, but if you just literally sit down and I do this task. I just responded to an email, and then it's like momentum, and you go, and it goes, and there's nothing better than like no bullshit. There are times where I'm like, I don't even want to get up and think about things, and I'm like, I just got to walk outside, and I have 5.5 acres, so I got shit to do. But the other day I was feeling so into myself and so panicky about work piling up. I went outside and I literally cut limbs off trees that were dead.
Yeah, but maybe you needed to.
Yeah, I did. And for an hour and a half, it was like I sweated. I did this. I was actually battling a cold, and that magically made me feel better because it's like mental clear out space. And whether it seemed like progress or not, it really was, because I know that's a task to do.
Brian Holiday, who was just on Gary Vee's Ask Gary Vee, was just talking about that. He owns a small ranch in Austin. Mm-hmm. And he was the marketer for American Apparel, and he's written oodles of books, Obstacles the Way, and a bunch of other ones. And Gary was saying, what have you done? What's the last couple of weeks been? He's like, I have fixed fences for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I have just put up barbed wire, and I've been off social media, and all I've done is focus on this, and this. Right. And he was talking about what a recharge it was for him to get off the grid and get into a hands-on. And it was an interesting thing, because he was talking about how he feels like millennials are going to be the first ones, like our grandpappies were like, hard work and this is where you're at, but I got to get out of the farm, or grandparents were like, we got to get off the farm. Right. But now people are starting to say, I want to get back to hands-on, tangible, practical, build something with my hands and make something happen, rather than just this kind of digital world or alternate reality.
And not to downplay depression and psychological stuff and all that stuff, but like our ancestors, our grandparents and great grandparents worked. Like you worked, like you had to work a lot, and I think there's something to be said about what it does for you mentally too, as far as like turning your attitude around and stuff. And I think in a big sense that maybe why the incidences of depression were less then and stuff is like not just because you were so busy you had to do it, but it's like I work all day long and I build and I drive.
Well, I think if you're working, I think it's much harder to be in your head in an obsessive, secular, kind of space.
You doesn't have to be like I was out building fences or jumping off dead branches on my 5 acres. It's work of I've always wanted to write something, and so I sat down and wrote something that maybe nobody ever reads. And Stephen Pressfield talks about it. I think it was him of one of the books I read of like the first 10 things he wrote, nobody ever read. And but he still wrote it. He sat in his camper for a year and he wrote these things, and he did that. It did it to continue the process and continue.
It took him decades to sell his first manuscript ever.
And how many hundreds of thousands of authors are here today that will never be published, but that they're still working, and it's for the enjoyment of the work too. And it's like whatever your passion is, whatever it is just go do that.
Seth Godin says that everybody should be doing a blog. He feels like even if you don't publish it or you don't publish it under your own name, just doing it, just that act of, and it's a concept I really love, which is, and I feel like he hijacked it from me because I think I said it before him, but
he probably did. I think he follows you.
But I might have stolen it from him. But the art of noticing, right? And he's like, all I do is I notice things, and then I write blogs about them. And his whole gig is just to take that, what do I notice, put it down, and then share it. And that becomes just this constant habit of sharing generously with people and putting things out there and creating impact and ripples. And for me, I've found, which has been fascinating, if I don't write every day, I get I miss it. I miss it a lot. Whereas like
I can tell when you don't too.
Yeah,
I can tell just from watching you. I mean, we don't talk like in person ever. We do a lot of text, obviously, and stuff. But I can tell not that I'm spying on you because that's kind of creepy. But you let the world have a camera into your life. So that's why I watch. I'm a watcher, and I can tell because I know you well enough now. I can tell when you haven't, and I can tell when you're edgy, and I can tell when you're not fulfilled. I see it. And
it's super important because I feel, once again, it's that responsibility. So I want to wrap this up, but and like I said, we're not.
I hope this is still recording. I hope you didn't run out of space.
Who knows? We may have been done 20 minutes ago, and this will be what it is. But I would encourage anybody, and this is a big kind of continuing message with the Good Dog is whether it's dog training or anything else, is to put yourself out there, take chances, take risks, work on fulfilling yourself, work on excavating your potential, work on taking risks in the face of others disagreeing or criticizing or breaking you down. You get this one shot. And I mean, what are you going to do? Sit around and keep yourself in this tight little safe spot because somebody might disagree? Somebody in social media land might say you're stupid or this is a dumb concept. Maybe it is a dumb concept, but maybe 40 posts from now, it won't be a dumb concept. Maybe 40 posts from now, you'll find your legs, you'll find your mojo, and all of a sudden, like if you read my early blog posts, you'd be like, I mean, they are not life-changing. And if you watched my early videos, they are not life-changing either. But you have to start somewhere. And so, anyways, we've covered a lot of ground as far as like your dog training world, but a lot of it, I think if we tied this all together, which is kind of cool, I think it comes down to risk and courage and not to like kind of pump us
and
up.
Passion in there too.
But and I think the passion, and I think you're right, the passion creates or helps empower the courage and the risk, right?
Don't ignore that burning inside of you unless you look it up on WebMD and it says go see a doctor.
that
Don't
burning,
ignore that.
yeah,
burning
that
inside
that
you.
burning inside,
Yeah.
that needs.
Everybody's passionate
Yeah.
about something, and feel like if you have it in there and it's something you can't contain, that's what you should be like.
Whether it's dog training, whether
singing,
it's dog
writing,
walking, it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
we're talking about dog training, but it's
Right. 'Cause
universal.
it's what we're passionate about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're also passionate about other things.
Yeah.
You've got a coffee business.
I do.
Like you're working on a multitude of things, and you've got, like you didn't just do working dogs. Now you're doing behavior. You're not behavior model. True behavior rehabilitation. Trademarked.
Really,
I'm working on it.
Thank you for throwing the trademark.
Right,
in there.
right.
I'm not actually
right.
supposed to say that.
Sorry.
But I'm here sitting here and all of it.
Okay. Coffee business,
Yeah.
and God only knows what other projects you're going to get into, because you're driven to do things that fulfill you and that are exciting.
And you're a musician, and you're an entrepreneur, and now an author, and
Yeah.
you're driven to do those things, and you're exercising those passions, which is making you feel fulfilled.
And every day that I put out a post, and I get a little bit better at it, and I see that it impacts people, and I see people saying, wow, that was just what I needed, man, there's no greater feeling. And the fact of the matter is, not to hijack whatever you were just about to say, which I'm sure was profound, is
You're
that
really in your mind saying this.
is that we're so fucking lucky right now to be able to do this. And I know that's a bit cliche, but the fact that it doesn't cost me anything to sit in my fucking bedroom, sit on my phone, have an idea, write it up, maybe create a picture graphic, which are like, maybe it's a 99-cent app, maybe it's free, I don't know,
free.
right?
Sport Post, we all use it, it's free.
And then send something out into the world and have people go, thank you.
Yeah.
Like,
if it was one person, and again, not to play to any kind of a crowd, but if you believe in it, you will get people that also believe in it. There's billions of people in the world. I assure you, one person at least will be touched by what you say. And when you get that bounce back, you're like, man, this just keeps me going forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And my passion, my drive, my belief in what I do, and my belief in myself to do this is unshakable. But on those times where we are a little wavery, we remember back to that time where that one person or 100 or whatever, it was like, you spoke to me. And you must have wrote that for me because I needed that today.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I hear so many people say, how are you, and this is so fascinating, how are you reading my mind? How did you know? It sounds like I'm making this up, but I get it all the time. How did you know this was what I needed?
Right.
And my response is always the same. I didn't.
Right.
It's universal.
Right.
The reason I wrote this is because I'm struggling with it.
Right.
Because you're struggling with it. Because everybody in this house is struggling with it. Everybody down the street is struggling with it. It may be dressed up in a different fashion, but it's all universal. And if you tap into being empathetic with human beings and human nature, it's very easy to start to explore concepts that might be helpful if you're bold enough to risk saying, here's what I'm dealing with and it's hard, or here's what I'm dealing with and this is what got me over the hump. Here's what I'm dealing with and here are the answers I found. And the book that I just finished, it's all about, it's very simple and it's very short, but it's all about, here's what got me out of the hole, right? I mean, my whole goal is that, can I help other folks skip 20 years of being stuck?
Yeah.
And that can sound really heavy and dark, but it's like, if that can help, if it can create, and it goes back to what you said about one person. Right. I was talking to somebody and I was like,
it was me.
Was it you?
Yes. You just said this the other day. I've been here for almost a week.
Right? Sorry, it was you.
It was.
And
because I know what you're going to say because you said it.
And it was like, I looked at it and it's personal development stuff, which already has a lot of weight, a lot of cynicism, a lot of resistance.
Right.
It's easy to sound like you're up your own behind, not up your own ass.
And that's a crowded space, a lot of recognizable people that are in personal development.
Absolutely.
You could be in your own mind of, what does Sean O'Shea, the dog trainer, have any business being in a personal development space?
And all I could think about when I was like looking at it and going, oh, this feels a little bit uncomfortable, was like, if one person reads this and goes, that was what turned my life around, it's worth it.
Right.
And maybe it doesn't get critically lauded and maybe it doesn't sell 1 million copies, but if I put something out in the world that helps one person, it's cliche, but man, I'll take it.
Right. And I think too, for all of you out there, like what I would like to kind of wrap all up too is remembering that mindset of that one person, because now you're not playing to the critics, you're not worrying about the trolls, and you're not worrying about this, you're not. And I think this overriding thing, which you can see in there, is like there's no negativity in all of this stuff. It's just positive. It's just like shed off.
It's generosity.
Yeah, like let it, like that negativity will keep you stuck in place. And if you worry about what people will say or think, or and social media, the blessing and the curse of it is it gives us tremendous reach and tremendous ability to speak directly to people,
and a whole lot of feedback.
Yeah, and then it gives all those people that are badasses behind a keyboard, like I said, my big thing is like, don't say anything on my page, and I'll start lives like that, like keep this way. Remember, don't say anything to somebody else on here or to them that you wouldn't say to their face, but more importantly to my face. Because I'll smack you in the fucking mouth sometimes. Sean knows it.
Right.
But so if you worry about what the keyboard warriors will say, then it holds you back. And so this whole discussion has been about not even validating any of that. Just go towards the positive.
So Seth has a great thing, and one of his great phrases is, "This isn't for you." Yeah. Right. Man. So when you create something, there's going to be a vast amount of people that it doesn't fit for, and that's really okay. I didn't make this for you, right? And it's not in a shitty way. It's not. It's not an elitist way.
Have you stood in front of art and been like, I don't like that.
I don't get it, right?
I don't get it.
But if you go through my YouTube, where if I've accidentally missed like blocking comments, you'll see this is the shittiest, this is the worst, what a crappy, what a lazy, what a bullshit, and then you'll see like, thank God this video changed my life. It happens all the time. And so you have to be willing, and this kind of, I think we should wrap it up with this, is that you've got to be willing to take the heat.
We're like that song that won't end. We're like an electronica dance
we just keep coming back.
Just like that beat, you go like,
EMT.
It won't stop.
You have to be willing to take the heat if you want to make a change, if you want to make a difference, if you want to make an impact, if you want to be valuable. I get so many folks on here that have learned how to train their dogs through our DVDs or free videos, and they're out actually, some are doing it like quasi-professionally, like doing it on site. Some are just helping folks out, and it's like, imagine the ripple effect of how many people, because some folks decided like, let me take a chance with this, and then once I learned how to do it, let me risk actually like helping other folks with it.
I know for a fact, I have met like probably a dozen people and interacted with them that are no bullshit dog trainers right now because of you, because of, like you personally, because they watch your free content and do exactly what you just said, believe in that, and go forward with that, and take all those concepts and just emulate that, and for all of us, that's like the biggest compliment right there, and it's sometimes an interesting business concept to go like, how am I going to monetize this, or if I put this stuff out, I can't. But when you finally realize like, there is no way that I could actually train a person in Denmark, really, love to. If anybody watching in Denmark wants to fly me over there, I will train your dog. But realistically, our personal face-to-face reach is absolutely minute. We are not Jeff Gilman, the RV.
Right.
You could be the RV dog trainer too, here shortly, but you're missing a key component of that portability.
Moving
concept. On. And our face-to-face interaction, those days of the pre-internet of you have to see me in person to get my message, has now been expanded into this. And so that was a little bit for me to realize of I can actually help somebody in Dallas train a dog without ever speaking directly to them. It doesn't need to be a DM. It doesn't need to be a phone call. Yeah, it's like literally no bullshit. I watched what you did with that dog and went and did it with my own dog.
It's almost like a form of charity.
Yeah.
And charity could have like a weird like connotation with it, but in the fact of charity being something that you give that helps another, it's a really special time.
You and I talked about this yesterday because of something that happened to me with a client that I didn't come down here for, didn't know was going to exist. It didn't happen until some other client that I knew had known I was down here. And I was like, sometimes it's just doing the right thing and being good for the simple fact of like, you know, we have come down to LA how many times?
Grinding
times,
though,
like,
but there's a lot of grinding, and this goes into work ethic. You showing up with no guarantees and just grinding.
No expectation of money.
Right.
Sometimes when you put the pursuit of the money aside, it actually comes like much bigger things come at you when you just go, I'm just gonna do, because I'm passionate about it, because I believe in it, because I like doing this, and I like helping people, and I like seeing that, you know, like, I know a lot of dog trainers like, how would I charge for a pack walk in Santa Monica and stuff like that, and it's like, if I did that,
it's all monetarily focused. Right.
So maybe I got $15-20 per person for the 15 people that showed up in Santa Monica, you know, like, oh, hey, I made $300, cool. It wouldn't have been the same thing. To me, it's like, I walk around the corner and there's a line of people standing there to see my dumbass, you know, and it's like, wow, like, cool, let's just walk dogs and have fun and hang out on Santa Monica Pier tonight, and like,
generosity, connection, and trust are the things that Seth Godin talks so much about. Not to make this a big Seth thing, but like, those those really are the principles now that we have access to, and that's exactly what you used. Connection, trust, generosity. You gave your time, people have trusted you enough through what you shared, and then you go out and you connect with them over social media and in person, and then it builds this thing. And all these folks, all of you that are watching, or any of you that are watching that are like, let me keep this close to the vest, I don't want to reveal my secrets, I don't want anybody to know. Guys, like, those days are over. It's all done.
Right.
Like,
unless you figured out a cure for cancer, or, you know, the next thing that isn't here,
right?
It ain't that big of a secret.
Unless you know how to launch a rocket for like $20, and we don't know how.
What you think is personal to you really isn't. Somebody's doing it somewhere.
Man, if you want to succeed, like, put your shit out there. Be generous, be kind, support people, lift people up, and watch the great shit come back. It's just like,
and believe in yourself while you're doing it. Our message here is, we do what we do because we believe in it. And in the times where there was no following, and where there was, you know, my first forays into, and it's truly, we don't have a large Instagram following per follower count. You know, I know people that aren't even dog trainers, they just do dog things. I have a client actually that has 88,000 Instagram followers. We train her dogs.
I got a Newfie client, or I think they're Newfie clients. And they're like 150,000. I'm like,
I told you the other day, our friend.
How do I compete?
Pickles the Pity, the pit bull rescue we do. She got 175,000 Facebook followers, and I remember the day that you were like, we hit 25,000 Facebook followers. I'm like, that's 25,000 more than I have. Holy crap! And then Annie comes along and like, Pickles, that stupid little pit bull I talk shit to on the internet, 175,000. And if we cared and that stuff mattered, like, you're like, oh geez, but like that I don't even remember what the hell that point was. Now I just totally
but you're just talking about numbers and social media and all that stuff, and it just to wrap this ongoing, never-ending, beastly thing up. I think we covered some good ground. We covered so much about generosity, trust, connection, putting yourself out there, being courageous, being risky, being passionate, having the passion, being behind all of that stuff. Trusting the process, that as you start off and you suck, it's supposed to suck, and it'll slowly get better and better if you keep trying and you keep trying.
And doing our thing and putting our message out there when there were no followers, and even though our follower numbers are still low, what we actually have is connections and things, and you see the swirling, and I now see the traction and the ripple effect.
I remember I was on Instagram and I was like, I've got 112 followers.
I remember when I hit 100. Holy crap. And then when I hit 500, you know, and like, we're going to break 2,000 here pretty quick, like, you know? But it's actually the groundswell, and to me, that number doesn't matter if nobody actually messages me. And if I had 2,000 followers and I couldn't get somebody to show up on the Santa Monica Pier, I'm doing it wrong.
It doesn't matter.
The far-reaching thing of social media is this is still human connection. It has just allowed us to connect to somebody that may watch this sitting in their living room
Yeah,
on
somewhere
the other
else.
side of the
Yeah,
world,
yeah.
you know, and but that is still a human connection. Let's not downplay social media, that, because I think
Yep.
in the negative side of that does get downplayed when you see the people that are not acting like human beings on there,
Yeah.
because of the anonymity of it, that
Yeah.
we are trying to put back in the personalness of,
Right,
of, the
right,
internet,
right.
of
And-
you. And when one of the first questions you asked me at the start of this is, why did I come down here?
Mm-hmm.
Is because I knew what Sean O'Shea was based off of what you put.
Mm-hmm.
My concern was that it wouldn't be genuine, it wouldn't match up
Right,
the
right,
real
right.
life thing, and that's where some actor types, get it wrong.
Right.
But that what you see is what you get, and that we have now been able to put the persona back into what could be a very sterile thing.
Yeah.
And that we want you to believe that if and when you do meet us in person, wherever we are, that
Yeah.
we are this thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
He does look that fucking amazing in person. No bullshit. There's no makeup on here, folks, or anything like
No,
that. There's
there's-
not a crew behind here that's like dabbing and like that.
No.
That's that ruggedness right there is that life that you see right there.
I've got to shoot for Outdoor Magazine right after this.
Do
So,
you?
yeah. So I've got to
That's
just
gonna
put
be
on my
weird 'cause it's dark, but
we got lights. We got a whole thing going on.
Anyways,
Anyways, guys, Sean from the Good Dog, Ashley Smentek from I was going to say something totally different, Gold Hill Canine.
Thank you. That is where I'm from.
Yes, which is from the other Newcastle, not the original, but the second
Correct.
Newcastle, and not home of the great brown beer. Sorry.
We actually do have a Newcastle
but-
pale ale or something. I don't
Yeah,
drink beer, so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Newcastle.
Newcastle's
It's
a
not that
very
Newcastle.
famous beer.
This is
He's a little slow on that, but anyways, guys, we didn't answer any questions.
No, we didn't.
We like they're here,
yeah.
and maybe one of these days,
Really,
I
you
actually.
As you're talking and saying you guys, I wanted to see what we were supposed to cover.
No, there's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, I was going to get to answer that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, but you didn't.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe we can do
After we
a
bring,
double trouble.
yeah, we'll bring
Anyways,
the thing home and then we'll do the thing.
right, guys. Fingers crossed. There's a whole.
Are we gonna reveal it? Are we gonna show? Are we gonna?
I don't know.
Well, because by the time this airs on Saturday,
it'll be.
I'm
Yeah.
so used to doing lives, I don't do hardly any pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that this is actually broadcasting. I
Right.
feel my phone going off, and I feel like
Right.
it's people texting me because they're watching this.
Right.
This isn't actually
The
gonna be
thing
till
going nowhere
Sunday,
yet.
no.
Yeah.
So when
So-
you watch this thing that we're
People are asking because I've been on Instagram stories.
Yeah.
I've been like
Uh-huh.
this thing. They're
like you have no idea. Like I know because I've watched some of the stories, like what you've alluded to. Then you have no idea. That
Yeah.
there's not a person.
People are like, "Did you get new kennels?"
No,
I'm
there's
like,
not a
no.
single person that has even come remarkably close
No.
to within. I wouldn't even say it's in the same like state
No.
of what.
I don't know what people are gonna think about, but
This is not you, really. Frankly,
I would.
what I've talked you
see
into
that
is not.
the twisted arm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was your idea to start with.
I
You
was
had the
enamored.
idea.
I was enamored.
No. It was your idea to go look at the thing, and because you were like, "Hey, I need this
Yeah.
thing, and so I need your help to go look at this
Right.
thing because I don't know a lot about these things."
Right.
So, and so I do know a lot about those things, as
Right.
you found out.
Right.
You didn't know I knew
Everybody's
that
like,
much
"Oh, did you
about
get a
it."
gun?"
Yeah, no,
it's not
I've
a
already
gun.
helped him get a
Yeah,
gun.
yeah.
So no, we've already covered that.
Right,
and
right.
you knew about guns. You
Yeah.
knew enough about it. You knew what you wanted,
Yeah,
and we just kind of
yeah,
helped
yeah.
you. But you didn't know anything about these
This
things.
thing, yeah.
But you also didn't know I knew that much about those things.
Right.
Until we got to where the things are, and then you saw my in-depth knowledge. Because I've wanted one of these things
Right.
for a really long time.
And I think you're vicariously living through
You're
me.
goddamn right. I am. You're like- so when he was looking at the thing, and it was a really respectful approximation of that thing, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely
Approximation
I could
is
see-
a
yeah,
good way to
no,
put
it's
it.
like it'll work. That thing. I wasn't even thinking of this thing
Yeah.
until we showed up to where the things are, and I went, oh, you need to see that thing. And so we went and saw that thing, and then that thing spoke to Sean so much that the thing we went there to look at was no longer even remarkable.
I couldn't stop going into the other thing.
You couldn't.
No.
And when we went into the thing that we went down there to look at, and actually bring home that day, there was no way you were buying that thing anymore, were you? So this thing is...
It's supposed to arrive tomorrow. We'll see.
It's gonna.
We'll see.
I can't stay any longer. I gotta wait till
I know.
here. I have to help.
I know. All right, guys.
You will know what the thing is by the time this airs. That's the good part.
You guys have been so incredibly patient. I don't know if there's any value in this.
I had fun.
Me too.
It's kind of our thing was like, we don't care.
Screw you guys.
Yeah,
Oh, no, just kidding.
No, we really hope you. This is going to be the most watched one ever.
There must have been some kernels of value in there. So hopefully there's something good in there.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't get to questions, but we don't get.
Well, maybe do a bonus Q&A.
Maybe.
And you do like a 2-version thing.
Definitely.
This could just be like
we could do like a
2 dipshits talking between 2 ferns. You know, there's a show called Between Two Ferns.
Yes.
It was that Galifianakis.
Yes.
That's what when I saw you bring the fern in here, I was really
hate that show. It's so not funny. That's so not funny.
Oh. So this will be like the bonus, and then maybe we'll actually film Q&A.
Let's see if we can put it together.
Those questions over there.
So guys,
143.5 is what this one is.
Thank you so much for bearing with us. I know we gabbed so much, but I think talking about a lot of the sport dog world and then comparing it to the working dogs and then all the different stuff, and I think we covered some good ground. So
we got it all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks for joining me on the show.
I bid you adieu.
Right. We will see you guys. I was going to say next week, but I'll see you next week. Yeah. This cat will be back up. He's got a wife he's got to go see, and she's probably not pleased with him because he's been down here too long. So, and he almost forgot about something important, but we won't get into that.
No, I'm going to make it up.
Yeah, smart guy. Anyways, talk to you guys soon. Take care. Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
That's the part. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Is it still recording?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
How long is it?
Oh yeah. All right, Mom. So this is what we've been up to. It's a beast. It's a big one.